Hi, everybody. Welcome to Table Nights Entertainment. Today is Talk 20 to me, and I ate about 40 hash browns because it was breakfast all day at McDonald's. 41. My stomach isn't functioning.
What's
It
the topic for
probably
today,
will.
Doug?
I don't know what to do with myself.
Certainly not my cholesterol issues that have now risen. Today's topic: popular and unpopular classes. Just start.
Okay. Um, Popular and unpopular character classes. Well, let's start off with popular. There are the four epitomal classes to ever exist. They're the archetypes, the thing that we base pretty much every section of role-playing games off of, which are the classic cleric, the wondrous wizard, the rapscallion rogue. No, damn it.
And the
Son of
fear fighter.
and the fearsome fighter. Yeah. I couldn't think. Can you? Is there an alliteration you can think of with rogue?
No, continue.
Um. Anyways, those are pretty much the epitome of every role-playing game. You can call them by different names. They can look like different things in different settings. Like cyberpunk, it can be a cyber hacker. That would be a thief again. Um, but they are what they are, and the reason that they're so popular is because they fit the most basic roles, and they let us fulfill very specific fantasies, which is basically what role-playing games do in general. But the reason that these are popular is simply because they're simple. Now, within that, of course, there's varying degrees of popularity, but since they're the most basic and the most iconic, they're the easiest to relate to. Um, Gio, do you have anything to say on the four main classes?
No, I mean you pretty much said it. I didn't know we were gonna go this route. So
Well, what would you have opened up with?
no,
What's your
I
opening
I
thoughts?
thought we were basically going to draw from experience on what do we perceive as the most popular, unpopular classes.
Okay, well then, what do you perceive as the most popular and unpopular?
Well, definitely. Shockingly enough, Fighter is the most popular, which that's to be expected. But I actually am surprised to find how I find like a large amount of people really don't like to be magic users. And like for example, the new campaign that I'm about to start, absolutely no one in the party wanted to be a magic user. I had to pull out from out of the group and bring someone in to play as a magic user because absolutely none of them wanted to be magic users. And then I was hearing that another party that we played beside was having the same exact issue. And I'm finding it so weird that people that not like you would think that this is a fantasy game, so the first thing everyone would be running towards is a magic user, but apparently not.
Cause fuck them.
Yes, Doug. That's an interesting point you bring up. um, Gio, that look though. You're actually looking at his box too, which was funny. Uh, no, now you're looking at me. There you go. Anyways, my experience with the magic user would be that the reason that people may be less inclined is survivability. And that's a little bit of the munchkin side of everybody, especially in new players. When they don't
Yeah.
really understand the concepts of role playing, they want to survive. And when you tell them that the fighter has the most hit points, they're just like, "Oh, I won't die as quickly." Which, I mean, in most campaigns you don't have to worry about. In mine, it's kind of a big deal, but in most campaigns you don't have to worry about dying. Your DM's not going to try and kill you, probably.
I will.
Doug, finish your hash brown or shut up. Or do both. Yes.
Okay, no los dos.
um And Fighter, the reason I think that Fighter is so popular is probably because they're the most versatile class in the entire game.
And not to pull this card, the majority of the people playing are nerds with no upper body strength.
And it is a fantasy. It is a fantasy fulfillment game. And being a fighter with, 18 strength is a fantasy.
Yeah.
When you have these shrimpy, I can't do shrimpy arms. I'm fuck. When you have noodle dick arms,
Noodle dick.
Oh, Douglas, thank you. Here.
Ah, yes, you're completely weak and pathetic. Thank you, Doug.
He was defeated by hash browns, so yeah. Anyway.
Potatoes had him in the end.
But yeah, that's a pretty clear reason why. Doug, what do you think is the most popular? In your opinion, what is the most popular and unpopular class?
Excuse me.
Your point.
I think that was diabetes that just hit. Okay. Okay. So, in my opinion, the most popular class has to be, in my opinion, Ranger. The simple fact that there's always one person that always picks a Ranger. There's always one. Sure, like in terms of like what I've seen, there's always a difference to like how many people get picked this or this class, but there's always a Ranger. There's always a Ranger in every group, as well as always a Thief. So I think like the main two that are, that feels weird. The main two that are picked are usually the Thief and the Ranger, and then. Oh god, this is not good. I regret so much.
Yes, Doug.
I regret so much.
Taste your regret. Now finish your thought.
All right. So in terms of like the least popular, I can't say mages because I know for those who understand role-playing games, like if we're talking about people who've never played it, mages would be the bottom of their list. But people who have played role-playing games and have played RPGs, generally, typically speaking, mages are usually. What is really the bottom pick is actually the healers, like clerics or things like that. Since nobody wants to be the reason why the party got wiped out. Nobody wants to be like, you didn't heal me. You're a cunt.
That's a fair point you bring up.
Exactly. Like, why didn't you heal? I only have one heal. Why do you only have one heal? I'm a war cleric.
Geo, do you have any titillating thoughts on that subject?
I do have titillating thoughts on the subject because I was a cleric from cross-plane, but I was actually a divination cleric and had extra healings. So I actually had less heals because they were a ruthless idiot player rather than the fact that I had less heals.
I think he was specifically referencing you, though, Geo.
Yeah, I know. I think I was specifically referencing the situation, which he doesn't know what he's talking about.
No. I think he was just sympathizing with you.
It's the hash browns talking. I'm sorry.
For me personally, I think the most popular class in the entire game is probably the fighter. I'd have to agree with you. For the same reasons that I said. I mean, you can do so much with the fighter. I mean, you can do a lot with any of the classes, but the fighter is so much of a basic template that you can slap anything on it, and it works. I think the least popular class, and this is probably partially my own bias, fucking illusionists. They don't do anything.
This is very much your own bias, and I was actually going to talk about this in the next episode because I know someone who's illusionist, and they're kicking everyone's ass. So,
if I wasn't picking illusionist for the purposes of ignoring my bias, because I realize I'm biased, I would probably have to say that the least popular character class, in my experience, has been the thief, because almost every time that I've played in a group, it's very rare that someone wants to be the thief. And I guess that's partially because everybody blames you if the traps go off. A lot of our reasons for not playing a class come back to blame. But personally, I don't have much of an affinity with thieves. I've played a thief. It was fun, but it just wasn't much that spoke to me about it. You were gonna say something, Gio?
No?
I apologize. I've put you in a terribly awkward spot.
Oh,
There's cyanide next to your bed. You can just go ahead and take that. That being said, what do you think is like the most complicated class to play?
That's a very loaded question because it really depends on how you play your character. Because by all means, even though magic users basically have all their weapons ever existing pre-made in the magic list, technically due to their ability to create magic, it creates a whole new layer of complexity onto them. And so I would have to say the magic user would be the more complex if you play it, because we've had a dime a dozen magic users in our group that do nothing interesting there. They're just there to shoot things and then wait for the rest of the fighters to like crawl in.
That is so true.
I don't think we've had, aside from myself, I don't think we've had any of the magic users ever even try to create a spell in the first place.
Zexon is trying to create a spell, I think.
Yeah, but isn't that like his life mission? Like,
I don't think so.
Oh.
But yeah, that's something I don't see a lot in Magic users who play the game. They tend to just be glass cannons, which I mean that is the strictest
Mechanical.
function. Say what?
That's the mechanical function of them, but that's not the roleplay function.
Exactly.
That's what it shouldn't be.
Exactly. That's the strictest function of magic user, to dole out damage. But I mean, if you look and study the spell books of a magic user, you can see that they do so much more. For instance, I'm actually playing a warlock in an upcoming game, and I specifically chose non-combat spells. I have maybe one or two just for the purposes of not being completely useless in combat, but I have my spell list goes as unseen servant.
We don't have time for that. we get it. Non-combat, we get it.
And it's for the purposes of role playing, and it's not a long list. It's unseen servant, comprehend language, suggestion, ray of enfeeblement, and counterspell.
Oh, okay.
That took all of 10 seconds.
Well, I thought you were gonna start like shooting off your entire damn list. I was like, really, nigga?
No. I wouldn't do that if it was more than like 10 seconds, but all of those are for the purposes of understanding rather than attacking, which, being like an archaeologist kind of guy, I guess, is the purpose of it. Which is another thing. A lot of people who play mages don't go into the background of searching for knowledge. Like that's a huge resource for role playing. You want to understand something rather than destroy it. And it just seems like such a waste sometimes. Douglas.
Yeah.
Contribute.
I hate mages with a burning passion.
Why?
Ooh. Mark.
Okay, now there's a reason why you'll rarely see me play mage, because again, this is my preference. I know some people also will share the same things with me, but honestly, I'm the kind of person, when it comes to picking a character, I like to pick a character based on, how I imagine myself fighting. I don't see myself going Wingardium Leviosa.
Bitch, you know that's not how it's done.
That does. That's just how I am. I'm the kind of guy that if you notice, if anyone ever notices, my playstyle is through video games, through RPGs. It's pretty much sneak in, bow. Ah, shit, they found me. Go all out, motherfucker.
Okay.
That's
But back to the original character question.
so,
Do you think he is
now,
the most complex play character?
like, who is most complex?
Yes, what do you think is the most
Not
complex
who. Which
class
is
to
most
play?
complex, and do you think that attributes to why it's either the most popular or unpopular?
I think the simplicity of a fighter is why people just love it so much.
Okay, but who's the most complex?
Hmm. I think like Mage. I want to say Mage. I really do, but it's not as complex as people make it seem. Just because it's again, it's just a search of knowledge, understanding where that knowledge is and finding that knowledge to better increase yourself is a pretty easy task. Whether or not how to get to it is the journey itself. What I find complicated is more of a thief. Thief would have to be on the list of complications, just because it's always tactical. When you play as a character who is sneaking and is either stealing, assassinating, or whatever, your play style is not so much go and do this or read this and do that. It's more like, what are my entryways? Where should I go for the best tactical observation? What should I kill this guy? Should I not kill this guy? And that's the reason why I think Thief was although it's a popular pick in my opinion, well, at least from what I've seen.
Mhm.
But as Aaron was stating, it's one of the reasons maybe why it's such a hard pick is because there's just a lot of it's complex in terms of like what you can do.
That's a fair point you bring up, Doug. Like that's actually a well thought out argument.
Yeah.
Um, I agree with you on that. The tactical side of a thief is part of what might make it so intimidating to some people. Because if you are a thief and you just run into situations, you're not going to be used to your full effectiveness.
You're gonna be useless.
Yeah, and you're going to feel like a chump. Because, I mean, if you're not playing to your strengths, usually it's not going to help you. And that being said, you can role play as a bad thief if you want, which is fine because that's sometimes being a bad version of what you are is fun. Like any example of a really bad version of their character, like of every bad wizard in a movie who ends up fucking up spells and doing them to themselves. They're funny.
Moran with her toes.
Oh yes, losing all of your digits. But yeah, that's a good point you bring up.
Mm,
Gio, go ahead.
yeah. This is more of a question towards the audience, the all of one of you, but this
We
is
have one viewer at the moment, actually.
this is okay. For some, this might sound like a sexist comment, but this is a question based off of experience.
Oh, I was gonna bring that up.
Shut up, Aaron. Shut up. I called it first. Ladies, and those who identify as ladies, why do all of you pick druids? And why are all of you pot-smoking druids? What is with girls consistently wanting to be pot-smoking druids?
Not just pot-smoking druids. Pot-smoking druids with pets.
Every single girl, well, I mean, if you're going to go with druid, you might as well want to add a companion on the side, but every single girl that has joined our group, except for one, every single one of them wanted to be a pot-smoking druid.
Wait, who
Very
was that one?
specifically a pot-smoking druid.
Utterly, specifically, a pot-smoking druid. And it's just like, why? And mind you, it's not, because you're just attracting the same girls. No, each one of these girls were different. One of them's a fashionista, one of them is like a rich girl, and one of them's like a pothead. But
Whoa.
all of them except one wanted to be a freaking druid, a pothead druid. And it's just like, and what's weird, when joining the other campaign that I was in, there was a girl that the last second changed her mind, but she was going to be a pot-smoking druid. And I'm just like, what is this? Why?
I think
Could you just like just answer me this, whether you think this is closed-minded or not? Blah blah blah. I know not all people. Blah blah blah. But what is the attraction to being a pot-smoking druid that, from what it looks like, about 85% of our interactions with girls playing D&D wind up wanting to be pot-smoking druids? If someone could enlighten me, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be good to talk about in the comments below. Please do.
I think I might have a theory.
Yeah, me too. But go ahead, Doug.
All right, I think the theory is crazy cat lady. I think every woman, at least anyone who's playing druid, wants to experience what it truly means to be a crazy cat lady at least once in their life. And so, to achieve this, they become a druid. And that's why, quote me if I'm wrong, most of the pets that they have are some sort of feline.
That is a fair point, Doug. That is a fair point.
Well, the majority of druids that we've had in our group weren't felines. It was a sloth, an owl, and I think a snake.
That is a fair point, Gio. That is a fair point.
I remember quite a few lions and tigers, and the ones from my group.
That's true. One of the girls had a lion. It died immediately, but it had a lion.
Yeah, see, they've at least gone through one lion.
My theory is that deep down, there's a spiritual connection to Mother Earth that every female has.
Mother Nature.
I can't even fucking say it with a straight face.
Because that's what I totally wanted, to be more in tune with Mother Nature, because once a month isn't enough.
Oh, okay. Nope. See, now you've triggered people, Doug.
Oh, sorry. Trigger warning. Oh, wait. I've triggered people who are triggered by trigger warnings. I'm sorry for the trigger.
Just stop. It's a never-ending cycle. The actual opinion I have on that subject, though, is girls just like having pets in games. Like, that's a specific thing that I've noticed. My little sister, in Tennessee, loves having pets. Joy always wanted pets. The other players that we've met, I mean, the first thing that they were concerned about is, like, I remember them asking, what class lets me have pets? So I think it's more of a symptom of wanting the cute and cuddly animal.
Well, I mean, I think cute and cuddly is the specific thing they're going for, but
Well, not.
I do agree with the companion thing, though. I do agree with the companion thing, though.
Has anybody checked on time?
We still have 8 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Right? Weird. It's like we're getting faster and faster with these videos.
I think we're just getting better. And we don't have to continue on if we feel like we've discussed the topic at length.
No, we must have absurdly long videos.
Honestly, I just like to continue talking to make sure we get all the points out.
Well, I feel like we've covered it fairly well.
Hash browns.
Hash browns. Hashtag hash browns.
Hashtag regret. Hashtag still worth.
All right. Well, Douglas, you'll be doing the closing statement for today, so I'm going to remind everybody, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And remember, oh wait, no, I don't say that today. That's your job, Doug.
Well,
Gio, it's your turn.
Time for the closings.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of on, Doug. Okay, so So yeah, I guess this was kind of a meh subject for this week.
I don't
It,
think it was mad. I think we're just getting faster.
Yeah, but it's like there isn't really much to say on the subject because this is entirely opinionated. If you guys want to say, tell us what is the most recurring classes and least recurring classes you've seen in your play groups.
And why you think so.
Yeah, and for you people out there, like girls, what's the obsession with druids? Guys, what's the obsession with fighters aside from testosterone? Yeah, no.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, but
All
I
right,
mean,
Doug.
come on, expand your horizons.
So, does it
Well,
really matter if it's popular or not? A class is a class that you get to choose, and that is fine. If you don't like a class, you don't like it. If you find a class to be a part of your liking, then that's you. Whether or not it's what makes it popular or unpopular, that's just a general stigma that we're talking about. Truly, we don't really have any records of what is considered popular or unpopular. We're just saying it how we see it. Whether you like that class or whether you don't, that is something that you have to find out. Are you a cleric? Are you a rogue? Are you a guy? Are you a little bitch who hides in the back of the party and sends out spells? Or are you a nice, massive fighter?
fuck you, Doug.
I'm Douglas, and with my friend Aaron Bryant and Giovanni.
Don't sign out yet.
Oh, we're not signing out yet.
Our next week's episode.
All right, next week's
I
episode.
usually forget.
Getting next week's episode. So you don't have a favorite class, or you don't have a really good class. You just like two classes. Why not mix them together? Wait, maybe that's game breaking. Or maybe you're just being retarded and not knowing the specifics of how to make a perfect class. That's right. Next topic, we're going to talk about class crossing and dual classing. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Or is it just, why does it even exist? Next week on Talk 20 to Me. I'm Douglas, it's Aaron, it's Gio, and we'll see you here.
So lackluster.
No.
And from all of us here at Table Knights Entertainment, roll on.